What's up, guys, and welcome back to That Racing Cop YouTube channel. So those of y'all that have been following me for a while now, y'all have seen this truck before. Y'all have seen it a time or two. It's my tow rig. Used to be my daily, now it's just my tow rig. It's a 2014 Ford F-150 Lariat, aka Larry the Lariat, and absolutely love it. It's been one of my favorite vehicles I've ever owned. Definitely one of my two favorite vehicles I've ever owned. This and my 03 Cobra I used to have. But it's got 240,000 miles on it, and it was an absolutely great problem-free truck up until about 220,000 or so. But ever since then, it's just had, you know, nothing major, but one or two little things here and there. It's just been one thing after another the last 20,000 miles or so. And for a tow rig, I really need something pretty reliable. With all the racing events I do, towing the car out of town a lot. During the summer, we go out of town with a boat a good bit. So I need something reliable, especially when I got a trailer behind it. And the last two times now I've towed out of town with this truck, it's had some hiccups on the way home. Thankfully, didn't leave us on the side of the road. It got us home both times, but it did not get us home problem free. So me and the wife have been talking, and we figured it's unfortunately probably time for a new truck. So never thought I'd be buying a brand new, but I've been so blessed. I was able to buy a brand new 2024 F-250. Guys, I can't get over how blessed and amazed I am to have bought a truck like this. Never in my life, or at least not anytime soon. Maybe, sure, years and years from now when I'm an old man, maybe. But here I am with a brand new 2024 F-250. Ford has got some great deals going on right now, and they've got even better deals going on the 2024 models to get them off the lot. So that's what this was. This was a 2024 model that was still sitting on the lot, so it had some extra incentives on top of the employee pricing that they're already doing to try to get it off the lot. And it was the color I want, so, and I had pretty much all the options I want. Let's check it out. So we were going back and forth on the truck, debating new, used, what do we do? I've always been a used guy. I've bought a lot of certified pre-owns. It's typically what I buy, you know, 2-3 years old, maybe, you know, a few thousand miles on it, basically new, but used. I've always felt you get a much better deal on those, but you do normally get much better financing on new cars. And with the employee pricing and all the other incentives they had right now, it really got me considering brand new, and that was the way we ended up going. Now, it is black with the blackout package, which is exactly what I wanted. I told the wife, I said, you know, if we're buying brand new, I want to get exactly what I want. So we found 3 trucks that fit exactly what I wanted, this being one of them. We actually went down the list of all 3 dealerships that had a truck almost identical to what I wanted. 1 or 2 little minor options here and there were different on each truck, but for the most part they were pretty much all identical trucks. I called one dealership that had the exact one I wanted, all the options and everything. I called that one, and unfortunately it had sold the day before, so that one was gone. So then I went and looked at this one. I realized I got the 2 trucks confused, thought this one was the other one I was looking at. Long story, maybe I'll do another video on that. But we ended up buying this one here. It's really only got 2 options that I really wanted that it doesn't have. Actually 3. So it's got 3 options that I really wanted that it doesn't have. 2 of the options I can pretty much basically add, so I'm not upset about it. There's only 1 option that it doesn't have, and there's nothing I can do about, and that would be the sliding rear window. So you can see here, it has got a fixed rear window. Now, I've never had a truck. Actually, I take that back. I had one truck a while back. But pretty much every truck I've ever owned has always had the sliding rear window. So it's going to be an adjustment having a truck without the rear window. The main reason I like the sliding rear window is for our dog. The pup really likes that rear window, likes to lay her head in that back window on road trips and whatnot. So unfortunately, we don't have that for the dog anymore. The other 2 features it does not have is it doesn't have the tailgate step. So one thing I always said was a must-have on my next truck was a tailgate step. This one thing, this one option I didn't have on that truck, and I was like, next truck, it's a must-have. But I will say I've had this truck for a week or 2 now, and it doesn't have the tailgate step, but it does have the cutouts in the bumper. And so those cutouts in the bumper with the handle up here do make for a pretty nice little step. And honestly, I think with the handle up here and the step in the corner of the bumper, I think I'm gonna be fine living without a tailgate step. So I think I'll be okay with that. And then lastly, the last option that I wanted that it does not have is the FX4 package. So it is four-wheel drive, but that's all it is. As you can see, it's just four-wheel drive. It's not four-wheel drive with the FX4 off-road package. So the tailgate step, if I really want one, I can add. That's no big deal. The FX4 package is really, it's skid plates and hill descent control. Not really concerned about hill descent control. Don't think I'd ever use it. The only thing I really want is the skid plates. But again, if I really want to, I can buy the skid plates and add the skid plates and basically make it an FX4 package. So I can add that. So the only thing I can't do or can't add anything about is that rear window. And as you can see, I've already got the toolbox in it. So it's not a brand new toolbox. Used one, found a deal on Marketplace, went and grabbed that. I've never had a toolbox with the rail before, but that was the one thing I really wanted this time. I debated about that, and I kind of like the idea of having the rail. I can strap coolers down and whatnot up there, free up more space in the bed. Now, obviously, I've got a much bigger bed than I do on my old truck because Super Duties only come with the standard bed, whereas my F-150 over there is a short bed. Super Duties don't even come with a short bed. Their only option is a standard bed or a long bed, not a true short bed like the 5.5 bed on F-150s. So I've already got a much bigger bed, but I oftentimes would have the bed of my truck completely full of tires and gas cans and all sorts of stuff, jacks, tools, all that, going to race events. And it'd be nice to have a little bit extra room. So I was like, you know what, let me get a toolbox with the rail. I can put a cooler up there, free up more space in the bed of the truck, because normally with one or two coolers, jack, gas cans, extra sets of tires, that normally would fill up the entire bed of the truck. But now I've got a bigger bed, plus I've got the rail up here to put stuff up there and free up more space. Now, moving inside the truck, so it is only an XLT. So it's got cloth seats, but we've discussed getting the cat skin leather seats. I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about that. If any of y'all have had the cat skins before and have experience with them, let me know what you think. But it's basically a fully loaded XLT. So it is an XLT, but it's pretty much fully loaded XLT. I'm a fan of lariats. I really wanted a lariat, but ain't gonna lie, the lariats were just a little bit out of our price range still. But really the only difference between this and a lariat is leather seats and cooled seats. But like I said, it is pretty much a fully loaded XLT. So it's got the large screen, it's got the screen gauge cluster instead of the traditional analog gauges, which I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, personally, honestly, maybe I'm a little bit old school. I actually like having a traditional analog speedometer and RPM gauge, and then the rest of it being a big giant screen, but that's just me. One thing I do really like about the Super Duties is having the 4 cup holders. So we can have it like that, 2 cup holders and a little cubby over here for whatever. Went to Lowe's the other day, but you can just slide that over and boom, you got 4 cup holders. Pretty nifty. Now, the big question a lot of you are probably asking, what's under the hood? What engine did you get? Some of you may have noticed it does not have the 6.7 Power Stroke badge on the door. So no, I did not get a diesel. Now, I love diesels. I am a fan of diesel trucks. When I was looking at used trucks, I was looking at either gas or diesel. I was either wanting a gas truck under 50,000 miles or a diesel as long as it was under 100,000 miles. And that's what I was originally looking at when I started truck shopping, was a 17 or newer F-250. Like I said, gas or diesel, depending on mileage. And then we ended up going this year, I'm going brand new. But I knew all along, if I did end up going brand new, there's only one engine I wanted. The 7.3 Godzilla. So that's what this has got. It's got the 7.3 Godzilla in it, which I have been so far very impressed with this engine. I firmly believe that the 7.3 Godzilla is probably one of the closest modern engines you can get to an old school big block. It makes gobs of torque down low, and I've been very impressed with this. I have never felt such a torquey NA gas motor before. Sure, diesels make plenty of torque down low, and sure, turbo gas motors make a bunch of torque down low, but this thing makes, I think it's 400 foot-pounds of torque at only like 2,000 RPMs or something like that, and driving it, you can tell that. It's got pretty decent acceleration, shifting at only 2,500 RPMs. Most of my drives, just normal driving, it will shift at 2,000, just over 2,000. Moderate acceleration, it's still only shifting at 2,500 RPMs. And even when I step on, obviously not full throttle, but I can actually step on it pretty good and have pretty decent acceleration, and it's still only shifting at 3,000 RPMs. It makes plenty of torque down low, so I think towing with this is going to be absolutely amazing. But like I said, for the most part, I pretty much got exactly what I wanted with just about all the options I wanted, including black. So I told the wife, I said, I know it's going to be a love-hate relationship with a black truck, but got to match the race car. So I was like, if I'm buying brand new, I'm going to get the color I want, got to be black. So I got black truck and the matching black race car. I know it's going to be a love-hate relationship with that black, but man, when I pull into the track with a matching black truck and black car, it's going to look good. All right, well, that is my 2024 F-250 in a nutshell. That's all for now. Obviously, you'll be seeing a lot more of this, though. Now, we haven't thought of a good name for it yet. I don't always name my trucks. I name my cars, not always my trucks. But my last truck, the name never really stuck. But, you know, sometimes I call it Larry the Lariat. So I named it based on the trim level. This is an XLT. So, I don't know, XLT, Lieutenant Dan, I don't know. Something. If you want to help think of a name, drop a comment below, let me know. But I'm super excited. Like I said, had to have black, matching car and truck. Only thing missing now is a trailer. I know I've been looking for a trailer for a while. That's probably going to be my next purchase, is a trailer. We're already looking. So like I said, I've been borrowing car trailers long enough. I need to get my own. So we got a matching truck, car. Now I just need a matching trailer. Like I said, I think it's just going to be an open trailer, though, because we'll be using it for the tractor and other stuff around the farm. But if I do ever step up or upgrade to an enclosed trailer, it's definitely got to be a black trailer now. But that's for in the future. I am super excited about streetcar bragging rights coming out. Like I said, I'm going to start getting off-duty dialed in for streetcar bragging rights, and that's going to be the debut event in the new tow rig. So that's going to be my first event with the new truck. I'll be pulling up streetcar bragging rights with a new truck, car, and hopefully a new trailer. But that's really all I got for now, guys. I'll drop that discount code at the end. As usual, again, if you are coming to streetcar bragging rights, don't forget SCBR Thomas for that 5% discount. But that's all I got for now, guys. So today's verse of the day comes from Luke chapter 19, verse 38. Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord. Peace in heaven and glory in the highest. Again, that's Luke chapter 19, verse 38. All right, guys. Till next time, stay safe, stay blessed. All right, so that was no pun intended a minute ago. I just now realized I said Lieutenant Dan. That's going to be a no-go because I've already got Dirty Dan. Did not think about that. Can't have a Dirty Dan and a Lieutenant Dan. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think, guys. No, can't do Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan, Dirty Dan. Oh, by the way, guys, I'll go ahead and break this news to you. Lieutenant Dan, gosh darn it, Dirty Dan. See, now I'm confused. Not Lieutenant Dan. This isn't Lieutenant Dan. I don't know who Lieutenant Dan is. Forrest Gump might know. I don't know. But Dirty Dan. Dirty Dan, unfortunately, is probably going to be going up for sale soon. So, if anyone out there is interested, hit me up. Let me know. Also, guys, if you are in the market for a Ford, if you live anywhere in the South Carolina, or I'd even say North Georgia area, definitely worth the drive to Furman Ford. So over the last few days, truck shopping and whatnot, I've talked to a bunch of sales guys, and you know, every one of them typical sales guy. But as soon as I met Damien, as soon as he came out, right off the bat, he didn't seem like a typical sales guy to me. Really enjoyed talking to him, easy to get along with. And, you know, after talking to him, also found out he's the youth pastor at his church. Love that. That's awesome. So I was definitely happy that of all the dealerships I went to, the one that had the truck I wanted also had the best sales guy that I had dealt with. So again, Damien at Furman Ford, thank you. Awesome job.